It's Luke and Susie with you for Faith Family Culture. Look, I'm really excited to chat to our next guest.
Yeah.
And I think there's a word that I noticed associated with her, which has been a really key word for you in the last couple of years as well. So I think we're going to find a bit of a common heart as we catch up with her. She's written a children's book, but it all stemmed from a little experience of just opening her eyes when she was out on the streets.
Yeah, we're going to get to that next with Luke and Susie.
Our guest right now is Koedi Nealy, all the way from the States. She's written a book called Pennies from Heaven.
Yeah.
An 18-year-old who kind of puts us to shame. She's written a book. She's started and has a well-established ministry called Grace Ministry.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that very soon because I think that's a word that you have in common significantly with Koedi. But I do want to start at the beginning of all of this because it sounds to me like all of this, the book, the ministry, all started just by opening your eyes as you were out on the streets. What was it that you were seeing?
Yeah, so when I was about 7 years old, I didn't understand the concept of homelessness. I didn't understand what people had done that was so wrong or why no one would help them. I remember driving down the street as a little girl and I would see little boys and girls with their families on the side of the road, and I just didn't understand why they didn't get to sleep in a bed at nighttime while I got to. And my heart just broke for them. Also, at that time, I started to notice pennies on the floor, and I saw how often people walked by them and stepped over them. And God just really showed me the connection between pennies and people. And he just put on my heart to start a ministry. And I honestly didn't even know what that word meant or what that looked like, but I knew I was called to do it. So I just asked everyone to start collecting pennies.
How on earth do you get enough pennies to do the things that you've been doing?
From when I was little, I was very adamant about only pennies. I was like, God's calling me to use pennies. So I remember actually I spoke at a church to share, my heart, and afterwards someone gave me $100 bill and I started crying. I was like 8 years old and I was like, I can't accept this. Like, Jesus told me only pennies. And then my parents explained to me that was worth a lot of pennies to, we can take it to the bank and get pennies if that's what you really want. But, this will help a lot of people. And so, I mean, obviously now we don't only accept pennies, but it's just really, the visual that we use and put behind.
Well, I love the fact that child perspective of this was so raw and innocent and determined for obedience.
Lovely.
But okay, let me just go. You were 8? Okay, so when did you start to have this dream of pennies making a difference for people?
So the dream and the vision kind of came together when I was 7.
We all have these sorts of dreams when we're 7, don't we?
Right.
Well, probably a lot of us do, but we don't follow through on it. You obviously have a remarkable family that have supported you here.
I definitely do.
Okay, so a 7-year-old, you have a dream and a vision, and what happened from there?
So I told my parents about this dream and this vision, and I told them that, God's calling me to do this, and I just need help. Like, I don't have money. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even know what the word ministry means, but I'm supposed to do it, so help me. And they kind of looked at me and they said, "Oh, you're so sweet. Like, that's a great idea. You want to change the world. Like, good for you."
Yeah.
And that was about it. And then a few years later, I just kept on telling them. And, finally, I think I was about 12 and I said, "Hey, Mom, like, God gave me this vision and this dream and I'm supposed to obey him, but I can't do it by myself. And as you're my mom and he gave me to you and you should help me. And by you not helping me, you're sinning. And so you need to help me."
Love it. Love it. Now that was your first fundraising and marketing strategy that you took.
Right.
Nailed it.
And she was like, "Okay, you are serious about this." So, we called a lawyer and just things took off from there.
Let's move to now. So you established a ministry when you were 10 years old. Our youngest, we have twins. They're 9. So I feel like we're running out of time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our oldest is 11. He's missed the boat altogether. But let's talk about it. This almost feels, in the context of everything else that's been achieved in the last, let's say 11 years in reality, from when you first got that vision, that call put on your heart, to now. Writing a book almost seems like just a sort of blip in the radar of everything else that's going on. But let's talk about this book. You did target it to children. Why was that?
I did this because when I was little, when I was about 7, I knew I was called to have to make a difference. And no one, like I said, no one really got on board to help me right away. My parents brushed it aside, and nothing really happened for a while because they didn't know I was serious about starting a ministry. I don't know why they would. I mean, I was 7, so it's kind of seems crazy. But the reason I decided to put my book into a children's book is to teach other kids that they aren't too young to make a difference, and that they should dream big, and that they should go and tell people about their dreams and get help. I also think it's really important from an adult's perspective and standpoint to learn to listen and nurture the dreams that their kids are coming to, because as little as they are, they don't know how and don't have the resources to start a ministry on their own. But if that's what they're being called to do, then, we should get on board and help them with that dream, just to make them feel like their voice is being heard.
Is this the first of many books, do you think?
Yes, it is. I have not, started my next one, but I have ideas, and I'm excited to, get the ball rolling with those for sure in upcoming future.
Come on, hurry up, Koedi. You're not getting any younger,
I know. College just can wait.
I don't think we would have come across you if it weren't for the book that you've put so much love and care and attention into. Pennies from Heaven is the name of the book. You can find out about it at gracedministry.org. Our guest today has been the author and the founder of Graced Ministry, Koedi Nealy. Thank you so much for taking some time with us. It's just been such a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you so much. It's been so fun.